How have you got buy-in from seasonal staff and also held them accountable when, if you think about it, a lot of staff that operate for you are seasonal, they have other jobs, they might not even be available all the time, but yet from your perspective as an ops leader and as a snow leader, you need them to give that full-time effort because you are in a emergency response liability control business. So how have you kind of got that buy-in and held people accountable when you don't necessarily have the full-time job thing to hold over their heads?
Well, I think that's where you have to first, you have to know your staff. So you have to know what their expectations are. And it's like, for example, we can use a hospital situation or we can use, a retail, the two different sides of it. So in a 24/7 environment, where you're in a hospital situation and it's zero tolerance, you're going to have a site supervisor there, which means that person's responsible for that site from the start of the snowstorm to the end of the snowstorm. Then they're going to have the staff that's actually, cleaning the sidewalks, the operators in the plow trucks, or the operators in the heavy equipment that you're using, and those sorts of things. And every level comes breaking down. So like there's guys on my staff that they don't want any more responsibility than hopping in the saw truck and running the saw, or they don't want any more responsibility than hopping into a piece of equipment and running that piece of equipment to scrape the lot clean, with a pusher box under or a plow or something. But then there's other guys who are interested in the snow industry and they want to grow. They might be on a sidewalk crew. The first year they reach out, they start on a sidewalk crew, then they reach out to you and say, "Hey, I want to, get into a truck or get into a piece of equipment, and I think I have the ability to run." It's like, well, those are the folks that you have to identify and you work with them, and those become your quote unquote crew leaders or site leaders, however you want to call them, or foremen.
Mm.
Again, it's understanding every individual's expectation, and the thing about it is it's that clear service level that we've set up front, and we've got documented procedures to do things and how I expect things to run. So you get them to buy into those, and make them understand where they fit, how they plug into that. And
That's
once
good.
you get that buy-in at that level, it becomes a lot easier to maintain, because now it's like they see where they add the value. They understand that, it's not like, yes, it's hey, I'm just the sidewalk guy, but they understand where they fit and how critical they are to the overall operations success of the company. So they buy into that. And